Welcome everybody to the
Nice.
Chinchilla Pickin' podcast. It is October the 12th, 2025 at 3:33 p.m. As always, we hope to be entertaining, educational, and uplifting because we want everyone to make money. My name is David Underwood, and I'm joined by the one and only the Baron of Bonds himself, the man who is the master of microphones, Brandon Beaver.
I
Brandon, how are you?
just broke the leg on my microphone while starting this podcast, so now I'm holding this thing. This is quite annoying.
Right? And then I
Very
told you to go ahead
frustrating.
and I told you to go ahead and start hitting record, and then I start coughing as soon as we get on. So it's just we're a mess today. Today's a mess of a day. It is October 12th. It's a mess day. A lot of news happened this past week. A lot of news. There's political news that has investment financial impact, which we don't like to spend too much time on because we are a financial and investment podcast, not a political talk show. So but we do need to cover if it has impact, if it doesn't have impact. We do need to cover news that does have direct impact. So I know, Brandon, you said you had a lot of news that happened that
Yeah,
you wanted
so a
to
lot
bring
of
up.
this
So go
wasn't
ahead.
actually reported very well. So if you go to the cover of the Wall Street Journal, you're not going to find this. So some of the stuff that I'm about to talk about. But for right now, I want to try to find a way to prop this microphone up because I have a feeling my sounds are coming through the audio
Better.
right
I hear
now, and
you
that
better.
you can hear me better. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's closer
also
to your mouth
plopping,
because it's closer.
but I'm plopping this microphone
I
around
can't
a
hear that.
lot.
I can't hear
Well,
that.
maybe you can't, but
Yeah, I think you're good. Let's just roll with it. Let's roll. You know, we have one bad podcast. Is okay. We'll
so
get a new
awkward.
mic. We'll get a new mic next time. It's fine. Get a new
All
mic.
right. Well, how am
You
I
sound
supposed to
better.
vape and drink?
Huh?
I gotta drink my pop and vape my vape.
Yeah, don't vape
How's this?
and don't drink your Coke.
Don't tell me what to do. It's Dr. Pepper.
It's all a Coke. I'm from old school. We call everything Coke. That's not even Diet Dr. Pepper, man. I thought you were trying to live healthy now.
Diet's not healthy. A lot of carcinogens
Better.
in that.
It's better than
No,
regular.
no, I don't think so. So there's
Yes, it
fake
is.
sugars
Yes,
that
it
are in it.
is. Yes,
No.
it is. We're gonna agree to disagree on this. That's all I'm gonna say on
You're
that
wrong.
because
You're wrong.
who's the person that's lost 90 pounds in 11 months here?
You.
Not you. 90 pounds in 11 months. I think I got a good idea what's better for you.
Who's the guy who just broke his freaking microphone?
That would be you.
This is
That would be
very
you.
frustrating.
All right. So if you were on social media at all following us, you saw that Brandon and I went to Tron opening night. That was a great movie. I liked it. I liked the soundtrack. And we had two different experiences because Brandon has never seen the other Tron movies, and I have. So he had no idea about all the little Easter eggs or inside or history there. And what you think, not knowing anything about the Tron series and then watching that one?
It was crazy. It was real fast, high paced movie for sure.
Yeah.
Very fast paced.
Yes. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. But I've seen the first two and I've enjoyed the first two. And I saw the anime series because I'm a geek and dork and I like anime and I like Tron. And yeah, so there. I don't know why. But here we are. And like, hold up. So I used to watch, I used to love Star Wars. I haven't watched any of the latest Star Wars stuff. It just went way too big, too much, too, whatever. Um, Star Wars was a cool thing. I watch the Harry Potter movies, Lord of the Rings, all that kind of stuff is kind of cool. I enjoy that stuff. I spent some time playing Dungeons and Dragons once. That was good. I had a fun time doing that. So I've done all these geeky things. I've been an athlete in college. I've done professional sports. I'm what they call a geeky athlete, you
Okay.
know? Geeky, dorky athlete. So for most of my life, Brandon, besides, I would say what, the last 7, 8 years, the last 8 years, I've been out of shape. I got out of shape for 8 years of my life. Finally back in shape. Because when you first met me, I was in really good shape.
Yeah.
I
I
was
would
doing
say
all
so.
kinds of stuff. Yeah. And then I just got fat and lazy. And now I'm back in shape again. But I'm still the same geeky athlete that I was before. You know. Different kind of athletics now. I'm older. I can't do the same stuff I used to.
Yeah, now it's bowling.
I don't do bowling, man. That's not my thing. But I'll do it if all right. If my friends are all doing it, I will go to spend time with my friends because that's what they enjoy. You do things to hang out with your friends because you care about your friends and that's what they enjoy to do. So you're like, I'll go bowling. Let's go. I'm gonna bowl my 75 or whatever I bowl. I don't know. And we're gonna have a good time.
We were really unprepared for this podcast, weren't we?
Yes, but no, because I have stuff to talk
I
about.
got a
Sorry,
lot.
I went
Yeah,
off on it's hey, it's our podcast. If we want to talk
sure.
about geeky stuff and Tron and movies and this bowling, that's our choice.
Okay, that makes sense then. All right.
Yeah, this is our podcast. No one tells us what to do on our podcast. I own this LLC. You know, if you don't like it, tough luck. We're gonna tell you how to make money and tell you which stocks to buy. In fact, I have a call on a stock at the end of the show. So stay tuned and I'll tell you which stock to buy to make money. All right? Boom. There you go. You got to listen to me rant about geeky movies if you want to learn how to make money.
Are you a
Sorry.
fan of that like geeky 80s techno too?
Huh?
Like the
Was I into
geeky
the
80s?
geeky 80s tech?
Yeah.
Not much. I mean, I like EDM nowadays from like late 2000s to now. I have EDM I listen to now that just came out this year. And I have EDM I listen to from the late 2000s and then Avicii. I'm a huge Avicii fan when he was, that was like mid 2010s.
Okay.
So I like EDM. I like techno.
Yeah,
I
so
have
I mean,
some
so do I. I mean, like
Charlotte DeWitt. I love her. She's the queen
I,
of techno.
I don't know who
Love her
that is.
stuff.
I don't know any of that stuff. I
Yeah.
know I jump on that Meta Quest and go to that Red Rocks concert every once in a while.
I've
And
been to Red Rock.
there.
So
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, you were there the last time you were off from
in
this.
Colorado, yeah.
All
I tell you what, it smells like a skunk there.
right.
Yes, it does. All right, let's actually get in some stock news. Here we go. Rules, rules, rules. Brandon and I get together 5 to 10 minutes before the show, and we tell each other what we're going to talk about. You actually hear the lie back and forth, the bicker and the banter right here on the show for you. Brandon, I know you have news. It probably is the same news I have, but I want you to lead it off and go first
Ah,
and take it away.
the one week where we have massive news come through, and I got to hold the stupid mic the entire time I'm talking.
Now you feel like a comedian on stage, walking back and forth talking.
They get mic stands, Dave.
Yeah, but they don't. They no,
What
they
kind of low
walk
budget
around holding a
operation
mic.
are we operating here? Money bags. Give me a new mic.
I've told you I'll get you a new mic, man. I told you which one I'm getting you too.
Okay, I told you which one I want. I want a headset.
I'm not getting you a headset.
Okay.
I tell you what, any listener right now, I told him I was going to get him a boom stick with a mic. He wants a headset. All the listeners, DM us. Let me know what I should get Brandon. And if nobody DMs us, Brandon, you're getting a boomstick. Sorry.
Well, I have no idea what a boomstick is, so
We'll deal with it then.
that's all
You'll
right.
like it.
Okay, it's free. I can't complain too much, I guess. Look, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, I mean, slipped a lot on Friday, right? Because of the trade headlines with
Yes.
Donald Trump slapping the additional 100% on China, and then China
Most,
saying we're gonna retaliate and limit your access more to rare earth metals.
yeah,
I,
everybody
I
took
don't
like a
think that
5 to
this is
10% hit.
Yeah, I think this is a 1-2 punch from Donald Trump. I think something else is coming. I think he did what they expected him to do first, and I think that there's going to be something that's going to catch everybody off guard that he's got next. So I honestly think that this is just a negotiation technique. I don't think these extra 100% tariffs on China are going to be permanent. I think in the next couple of months we're going to see those come back. What do you think?
Honestly, so here, that goes into some of my articles. You ready?
Yeah,
I might as well just go into my articles here.
that's fine because I got mine too. So yeah.
All right. So first article came out this morning at 5 a.m. on the Reuters Newswire. Headline reads: Taiwan sees no significant impact on chip sector from China rare earth curbs. So China, this whole tariff thing all started because China was stopping rare earth elements from leaving its country or high export taxes and tariffs, if you will, of some sort on the rare earth materials. Well, Taiwan Semiconductor uses a lot of materials to go ahead and create these chips. It's the world's biggest chip maker in the whole entire world. A lot of companies, NVIDIA is one of many companies that use Taiwan Semiconductor for chip making. However, Taiwan Semiconductor came out and said there's no significant impact expected as the China's new curbs on rare earths differ from the metals needed for the chip sector. They're actually used more for other things. Taiwan is home to the world's largest contract chip maker, TSMC, and they produce the vast majority of advanced chips that are a key component of artificial intelligence applications. Taiwan's economic ministry said in a statement about China's new rules that the rare earth elements covered by the expanded ban differ from the rare earth items required in TSMC's processes, so no significant impact. Domestically needed products or derivatives containing rare earths are mainly sourced from Europe, the United States, and Japan, it added. So this has to do with what China said. They did this. China defended its curbs on exports of rare earth elements and equipment, saying they are motivated by concern about these metals' military applications at the time of frequent military conflict. And that was the reason why China went ahead and did this. And that was the reason why the United States went ahead and did the 100% tariffs on shipping into the United States because China did this rare earth material ban, and then that was Trump's reaction, Trump administration reaction to the rare earth materials ban.
Sure. Sure. So this created a buying opportunity for me, in my opinion. A GE Vernova's decline, Amazon's decline on this, and then Comcast had declined on Friday. And I think that the Comcast thing's more of just a sentiment, because sentiment's been negative on Comcast for a little bit, and I think it was just the decline on Comcast there. I think was a sympathetic sell-off. So I
So,
think, and I went out and bought more. I bought more of all three of those, and I've got another company here that I want to talk about that I think is now a great opportunity. But what were you going to say?
so if you were in one of my circles where I'm trying to actively mentor you and help you invest, right?
Sure,
And you're in one of these chat groups, or you're someone I know. I went ahead and texted you to go ahead and sell certain stocks on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. I think it was Wednesday. I reached out about selling, and one of them was GE Vernova. It had jumped up, and I said sell today. And then the reason for that is I saw the headlines about China and what they were doing. I knew there was going to be a reaction. So if you sold, you knew you were going to buy cheaper later on, and you can make a quick buck here
sure,
based off the swing in the day trading. Now, I only sent this out to people I'm actively mentoring and I actively know what they're invested in at these times. And that was the key here. So I did not post this on Instagram or anything because by the time someone might see it, it might be a day later. You missed the opportunity, yada, yada, yada. These are people I could text real quick and have this quick conversation with. But when I saw that the headlines, I knew what was going to be the ripple effect and the change of it. I knew I could make some quick money off of this, maybe 5 to 10% return in just 1 week time, which is a good return to do. But these are simple plays you can do if you're experienced and you know what you're doing.
sure,
I
sure.
do not recommend this for anyone with less than 3 years experience.
And if you've got an incredible cost entry point on GE Vernova, in my opinion, there's
There's no
I,
point.
I,
Yeah, there's
yeah, just
yeah.
hold it.
Yeah, if
I
your
buy more.
dollar cost average is below 500, then it makes, I mean, it's just pennies to you.
Right, right. But I looked at a few different companies here. I was looking at AMD. They tumbled about 8%. I honestly think that that's a decent entry point, not too aggressive there. Still kind of a high valuation, but I mean, it's
It's
8%
a it's a perfect
one day.
entry point, especially after what Taiwan Semiconductor said, especially this morning, is
Right.
that it has nothing to do with chips or semiconductors. I fully expect at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time. I got to say that because we have people who listen to us globally, Eastern Standard Time, that AMD will start moving higher right away,
Sure.
and that
And
you'll see a bounce back immediately.
Nvidia took a 5% hit. Again, I mean, I didn't buy more based off this because I've got a low cost average on this anyway. So, but 5%, I think you just buy Nvidia on pullbacks and you're safe for the long term. Synopsys dropped about 9%, not touching it. Started looking into that company a little bit. Their acquisition of ANSYS left them 11.8, I think it was. Don't It's somewhere around $11 billion in debt, and doing the math on that, their operations, the cash from operations, do not cover that debt. So they're going to have to sell out either more bonds out on the marketplace, or they're going to have to distribute more equity to the public and dilute shareholder value in order to pay down that acquisition. So, but there's another company that's got a good balance sheet. It's called Teradyne, and they actually test these semiconductors. And the more complicated these semiconductors are getting, the longer the tests are taking, and the more money Teradyne is making off of this. Um, so obviously, we had a strong period of positive momentum for everything in artificial intelligence. Their quarter two 2025 earnings, highly positive. The stock did surge 20% on that earnings report for Q3. The projected robust sales between 710 and 770 million for the upcoming quarter. The 9% decline here, I think, was an overreaction. They remain really good with their balance sheet. Their depth is incredible. And I'm calling this one a buy. Once again, they test the semiconductors. They're the largest tester of semiconductors, and I think that this is a good entry point at a 9% decline for them. So that's the one that I'm looking at, right, for tomorrow. This is the one that I'm gonna buy that I really believe is a strong conviction buy. If you're entering into any of these other ones, maybe modest entry points, but I think Teradyne you can be pretty aggressive here.
So before you start buying on these, if it's semiconductor, I agree, and that's just because of what Taiwan Semiconductor said. Here's what you need to know. This is an article that actually you want to read. This one is and has all to do with all this. This came out in Reuters Newswires at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time today, October 12th. This headline reads, "The USTR says that China deferred when US reached out for a phone call after export controls expansion." Kind of know what's going on here. Well, the trade representative Jameson Greer said on Sunday, that's today, that the U.S. reached out to China for a phone call following an announcement that it was expanding its rare earths export controls, but Beijing deferred. And meaning, Beijing said, we're not accepting your phone call right now. And they accused the U.S. of what it called double standards. What Greer's told Fox News, he said, I can tell you that we were not notified, and quickly, as soon as we found out from public sources, we reached out to the Chinese to have a phone call and they deferred. Uh, U.S. President Donald Trump responded on Friday by imposing the tariffs, and he wrote on Truth Social, highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment and he doesn't want a depression for his country, and neither do I. The USA wants to help China out, not hurt it. That probably didn't help the situation, right? So, in a report by state broadcaster CCTV, the Chinese Commerce Ministry defended its curbs on export of rare earth elements and equipment, but they stopped short of imposing new levies on U.S. products. It said that the restrictions are driven by concern over military applications, so they're doubling down on this at a time of frequent military conflicts. The Beijing also pointed out the U.S. had added Chinese companies to a trade blacklist and levied port fees on China-linked ships as examples as to why they are doing this. Greer says he believes that markets will calm in the coming week as things settle. He said a Trump-Xi meeting is on the sidelines of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum in South Korea later on this month, and it will still happen. So they
Okay.
two leaders are looking to meet later on this month. But the fact that China is not accepting the U.S. phone call means that China is willing to play hardball and eat and take the bullet on this and make it last as long as they need to.
Okay. I think Teradyne is gonna be one of the first to jump back up though. I believe this. Management for the company has recently forecasted that their earnings per share are going to double by the year 2028. So, and they've got a very conservative balance sheet. To me, that screams it's conservative management. So they may actually, overdo that. They may jump above that goal.
For any of our new listeners, you're talking about economically conservative, not politically.
Economically conservative, yes.
There you go. I just want to be clear.
So another group that took a hit over the past week was the regional banks. And you might be wondering, why did the regional banks take a hit on tariff news? And the thing is, it wasn't tariff news.
I'm not
There
wondering.
was, there was no tariff news here.
Yeah,
Uh,
there was some good news in regional banks. You want to hit the good news first or bad news?
yeah, I mean, you can hit the good news if you want.
No, let's do bad news. I'll do good news second.
Okay, so you know about the first brand's bankruptcy?
No, whoa, no, I did not. I
Yeah,
missed that. Did I
yeah,
miss that?
yeah.
What? Why was it? Now hold up. What was it? Was it bad loans, subprime loan, Linden, or was it real estate and commercial real estate, Linden, or was it oh, what else could have done it?
Supply chain loans.
Supply chain loans? Really?
Yeah.
So bad loans.
Yeah.
A supply
So,
chain
so if
specific.
you don't know who the First Brands Group is, you're not alone. Most people don't. It's not a publicly traded company. They're a major global supplier of aftermarket automotive parts, and they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in late September of 2025. And this is going to be one of the largest debacles on Wall Street in the recent years, unfortunately. So they they own well-known brands like Fram, Autolite, Trico. They had a very good substantial growth here for a while through a series of debt-fueled acquisitions. And they reported a financial leverage ratio that was not unusual, didn't look too bad. But here's the problem with this. So, the way that they were funding their operations, they were selling customer invoices to third party investors at a discount for immediate cash. And they did something called supply chain finance. And what this is they're going to the bank and they're having the bank pay suppliers directly for parts, and then they pay the bank back at a later date. And and here's the accounting thing about this.
I don't like this already. I have
Do it
so many
this
things to say.
way, when you do it this way, your company doesn't have to report that as debt on the balance sheet. So it makes everything, if you're doing this a lot, this is a lot of debt that investors don't know about because you don't have to report it. So this collapsed. Now, in mid 2025, they tried to refinance their $6 billion corporate debt load. This failed. It stalled when lenders were demanding more information about the financial disclosures and factoring agreements. When concerns grew, the value of the company's loans plummeted dramatically. Some lost nearly two-thirds of the value in just a matter of weeks. This rapidly deteriorated, last month. Onset Financial declared a default after First Brands missed payments on about $1.9 billion on inventory financing, which is the supply chain loans here. South State Bank seized approximately $27 million from the company's accounts, and that only left it with $14 million, which was not enough to cover payroll. So they're being forced to file Chapter 11, which they did in September. Here's my biggest problem with any of the companies that are associated with this. Jeffries is on the hook for over $700 million. This
They got it
company,
to lose. They got it to
this
lose.
this company though reported bankruptcy in September. Jeffries reports their relationship with this company October 8th.
They were probably looking for a solution before they publicly reported it. I guarantee you they're trying to
Possibly.
find something.
Give us a heads up. This is what I don't like about leaders that hide this kind of stuff. Like even if you are looking for a solution, report it. Warn investors. Hey, this is gonna be a problem.
Because that hit Q3 and now we're in Q4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
is it
Jeffries,
going to hit Q4? When did the paperwork actually go through, file, like, you know what I mean?
I'm assuming it's probably going to hit Q4.
Jeffries can take that. Jeffries can take that loss and still be operation. That's fine.
I want to wait because who knows if that's what they're on the line for. You know, if it's 717 million, I think it was.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
That's
I
it,
mean,
it.
it's a big deal, but it's
Honestly, we
like
don't
they'll
know
be
yet.
fine.
Here's the thing about this, though. There's going to be all kinds of investigations into this accounting progress. There's already lawsuits that are being announced. There might be a Department of Justice investigation into First Brands here. Who knows if Jeffries is going to be on the hook for that? I would rather just wait and see what happens. Plus, by the way, Jeffries is trading around a price to earnings ratio of around 20 right now. Morgan Stanley's at like 18. Doesn't sound like that's big of a difference, but it's a 10% difference. I'm on the sidelines here. I'm not touching Jeffries until we figure this out. And honestly, I think their intrinsic value of the Jeffries stock right now is about half of where it's at, actually. So,
So if Jeffries drops come Monday morning, would you buy it if it dropped half?
no, no, I
If it
can't.
dropped
They
half,
sat on
because
this
it,
news. I know why they sat on the news, but I don't like it. I want CEOs and a board that's going to be directly upfront with shareholders and tell us what's happening.
gotcha. All right. All
Oh,
right.
and by
Well,
the way, the other thing about this is that there were some analysts that were catching on to this and figuring this out, and some analysts were stating they're going to be on the hook for like $40 million. So, but this was before Jeffries came out and said no, so it's like 717 million. So people were kind of sniffing this out, but they were taking guesses and they were way off because we had no visibility into this whatsoever.
yeah, because of the way the loans were set up.
Yeah.
It was a line of credit is what it sounds like it was, a revolving line of credit. And so not, I mean, you could say it was a loan, not a loan. You could say it was more like a credit card that they
Yeah.
just kept using and paying off, and that's how it was structured, and thus that's why it's just like operating expenses.
So the most significant exposure to Jeffries was through their branch called Point Bonita Capital. It's a division of Jeffries Lucida Asset Management, and Point Bonita managed a trade finance portfolio that had purchased roughly $715 million in receivables, which are these customer invoices from First Brands. This is what they're on the hook for, and that just became valueless.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough. It's
And,
rough.
and so what happened here is that the regional banks kind of all slid. Jeffries took the biggest hit here, but PNC took a hit. It didn't deserve it. Um, the fear here is the shadow banking is back. That's the fear. The fear is that the shadow banking is back, and this could lead to some sort of, difficult financial contagion that affects everybody. I don't see the evidence here yet, but I'm hoping that this isn't a accounting practice that's used industry wide. It could
Come on
be.
now, really? You're not that naive.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, but
You and I have been
I
trading both. You've been trading for a decade now. I've been trading for more than a decade. Come on now.
I don't see this as being like a global recession kind of thing. It is
No,
they're
no.
affecting a few people. I think it's going to be rather
It's
insulated,
yeah,
but it is one of those things that kind of makes you look at it and then makes you think, huh, who else is
right.
doing it?
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of other people, and I was more worried about the commercial real estate part of it versus some other part, maybe even like student loans and defaults in that area is where I thought you were going to go with this, not First Brands. So I did not hear
Yeah.
about First Brands, but it seems like it's contained to just a couple, and Jeffries
Yeah.
can take that hit. And yeah, it's not good what Jeffries did. How they handled that situation is not going to be hindsight's 2020. Not the best way to do that. It's going to be bye bye for First Brands. Sorry for their employees that they have to go through this.
Jeffries has been on my buy list for a while. It's no longer there. I'm
There you
wait.
go.
I want to watch this and see how this plays out, but
Well,
uh,
let me get your opinion about another regional bank news here.
Okay.
Can I switch gears here? Let me
Sure,
switch gears.
sure.
And this is a local one to Cincinnati, and it happened just this past 10 days. Fifth Third Bank went ahead and bought Commercia Bank for $10.9 billion. Fifth Third Bank is now the United States ninth largest bank in the United States. They just jumped up to the big boy platform in the A leagues, if you will. They are in the
Nice.
major leagues now, and
Hey,
it's a
wait, did you say Fifth Third?
Fifth Third.
Okay.
Fifth Third, yeah, Fifth
This is
Third,
a regional bank that's been around here for a very long time that was very stagnant for a
yes.
while and is just now finally starting to meet its potentials.
You can say that they are no longer a regional bank now. They have made the top 10 largest United States bank. So they are definitely trying to make a move and become like a U.S. bank or a Bank of America in that regard. This move they did is going to really catapult them up there. I don't know if they're going to be able to compete right away. I'm going to use my sports analogy again. Your first year in the big leagues, you typically come in last place. So I don't think they're going to compete right away. But after this is fully mergers fully done and over with, probably what mid next year, I assume that they will be moving in the right direction here and having
Okay.
those revenues and profits show the real numbers.
Nice.
So that was some big news in regional banks. And I look for PNC as my next one. I think that will take that leap up or get bought out itself.
Yeah, I would buy PNC Bank. They've operated a pretty incredible balance sheet for a very long time.
Yeah.
Even during the recession, they were one of the ones that was the least touch in 2008 by
Yeah,
that.
a lot of banks during 2008 are no longer here.
Right.
I mean, what Washington Mutual is one of the most famous ones. National City was another bank. Lehman Brothers, we could go down the list. Merrill Lynch no longer exists. So all kind of.
Yeah. So, and I got one here that's a little bit off topic, but it's
Go ahead.
another beaten down stock here.
I mean,
Constellation.
I have more news I want to cover, but like we're on
Okay.
regional banks, we're on banking finances. So if you have something financial related, let's go.
This is not financial related, but they
Uh,
reported their earnings October 6th. Another company that I called a buy in the past that I shouldn't have. But Constellation Brands, they reported Q2 FY 2026 earnings. Earnings per share was $3.63. Surpassed the estimate of $3.37, which is good. It's a 7.72% surprise, but this is down from an earnings per share of $4.32 last year. Notable year over year decline here. Net sales of $2.48 billion exceeded the estimate of $2.46 billion, but that's a steep decline of 15.5% from a year ago also. Um, Prior to the report, Constellation Brands had already suffered a 35.7% year-to-date decline.
don't they own Budweiser?
No, that's Ambev. That's a South American company.
Oh, this is Corona.
Yeah, Constellation brand, Corona, Pacific,
Yeah,
yeah,
Pacifico. Yeah.
Pacifico,
Well, Corona
yeah.
lost market share to Modelo. Modelo came into the market 3 years ago and started competing with the big boys, Budweiser and so forth. And
Well,
Modelo has taken a lot of market share away
Co-
from Corona.
Constellation Brands owns Modelo, so it's fine.
Do they
Corona.
really?
Yeah, they
Okay,
do.
come on.
Yeah.
Why are they doing bad then? I
Wide,
don't get it.
wide moat. They've got a very wide moat, and that's why I'm saying I think that this is a comfortable enter point, like for investors to go very
How
soft on.
how did they have a bad quarter? They got Modelo. I see Modelo everywhere on TV.
Yeah, it's everywhere, but it's a beer.
I mean, I don't drink anymore,
It
but I don't go to
the
bars.
decline is in the industry of beer. I mean, if you think like, marijuana, first of all, is being legalized nationally here, decriminalized in the United States, taking up a lot of market share of the beer segment as people are switching over. People are drinking the THC now, the THC infused drinks, and it's really having an effect on beer. Plus, you got all the tariffs and the international geopolitical risks that are associated with bottling and canning and stuff and international shipments. It's kind of a mess right now.